What's up guys, Hardcore Hector here, and as you can see I decided to play a little bit of Battlefield 4 on the PC. So I played this game when it first came out. I actually wrote the strategy guide for it at IGN.com over on the IGN wikis, and I played Battlefield 3 and the Medal of Honor reboot and stuff. I just kind of wanted to talk about Battlefield and Call of Duty and Medal of Honor while I do some of this gameplay. Well, I'm talking after I did the gameplay, so that's why I'm not going to be reacting to the gameplay because I already played the game and now I'm just talking, but whatevs. So, because times have changed so much and it just seems like some video game companies and even game entertainment companies aren't keeping up with the kids, and they're like, what? Fortnite? I don't understand this. And they're still trying to push Call of Duty and Battlefield, and their sales are plummeting, and they're just, people aren't understanding for some reason. But well, everybody knows how, you know, the FPS, the first person shooters, kind of blew up with Medal of Honor, and then the staff of Medal of Honor went over to Call of Duty in like early 2000s. First Call of Duty was in 2003 and it was only PC. Then Call of Duty 2 came out in 2005 and it was Xbox 360. And so it kind of put Xbox 360 on the map. PS3, it did come out on PS3 and everything. And then of course Call of Duty 4 blew up even more in 2007. But meanwhile, Battlefield was just Battlefield 1942 back in 2003, and then Battlefield Vietnam, Battlefield 2. But those are PC only games. So people on console didn't really get to experience the full Battlefield experience until Battlefield Bad Company came out in 2008. That game was for consoles only, and then Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out consoles and PC, and that's what really blew up Battlefield. And so that was 2010. Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out. 2010 for Call of Duty was Call of Duty Black Ops. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had just come out in 2009, the previous year, and that, right after Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out, the original developers that made Call of Duty just disbanded, and that's why Call of Duty just kind of fell apart and stuff just went all crazy. Infinity Ward was the original developer, and then Treyarch came in and started making the zombie stuff. So Treyarch started getting more of a popularity boost when Infinity Ward just blasted off and decided to make their own company called Respawn, and then they started doing Titanfall. And then meanwhile, Medal of Honor got bought out by EA, and so, well, I think they might have always been EA company. Anyways, Medal of Honor got rebooted in 2010 by a totally different company also. Danger Close did the single player, DICE still did the multiplayer, so Medal of Honor's multiplayer was pretty similar to Battlefield. So then they're like, okay, maybe we'll switch Battlefield and Medal of Honor alternate years and give, you know, the people some time to like create a game. Because his Battlefield Bad Company was 2010, Medal of Honor reboot was also around 2010, and then Battlefield 3 was 2011, and then Battlefield 3 was 2012. And then the expansion packs kind of expanded throughout 2012 and 2013. Meanwhile, Medal of Honor Warfighter also came out around 2012, but then they're kind of just struggling. The EA peoples, they're just struggling because they're doing games back to back to back to back. And Call of Duty was kind of struggling too, so they did add a third developer, so it was Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and then Sledgehammer Games. Sledgehammer came in with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 in 2011, and then it went Treyarch, Black Ops 2 in 2012, Infinity Ward, Call of Duty Ghosts in 2013, Sledgehammer Games, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare in 2014. But on the EA side, after Medal of Honor Warfighter in 2012, it just didn't sell well and didn't do well, so they stopped Medal of Honor. But they kept doing Battlefield. Battlefield 4 came out in 2013, about a year and a half or so after Battlefield 3. And then they had a ton of expansion packs from 2013 to 2015. So the problem with Battlefield 4 partially was all the expansion packs. They did way too many expansion packs and expected us to pay too much, and then they did all that loot crate BS. But another problem was they just kept doing it right after. Remember, Battlefield 3 was 2011, and then it kind of went out through 2012, a little bit 2013. Also, Battlefield 4 came out 2013 through 2014, 2015. But Battlefield 4 was also the Battlefield that was bridging the next generation console gap. So they were dealing with a ton of issues, and that was really the biggest problem with the game. There was just had way too many glitches, and like the game would freeze, or people would just be rubber banding left and right. Servers were terrible. People were just being kicked out of the game, and then none of their progress saved. And so it was just an unplayable game. And so they did give some of the people some of the expansion packs for free, like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, we're trying to do our best. But it was too late, because it was 2013 and 2014 since the new console came out, end of 2013. And I guess like 2014 was kind of like the new console for Battlefield 4. I don't fully remember the exact date. Let me double check while I'm speaking in real time. Just says October 29, 2013. So maybe all of the platforms were on that same date, 2013. But yeah, next gen console came out at the end of 2013. Call of Duty was on Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts, which didn't do well either. That game was full of glitches. I didn't even get to finish Call of Duty Ghosts single player on the PC because it just kept freezing. So that thing had its own issues. And then, so after Battlefield 4, they had Battlefield Hardline in 2015, which was just a cops and robbers game. And it was developed by a totally different company, different developer. I did the strategy guide on that for IGN also. I just didn't care for it that much. And then the next year, 2016, Battlefield 1 came out, which was a World War I game. It was interesting, but it just didn't capture my attention enough, and it seemed like it didn't capture a lot of people's attention enough. And then just last year, Battlefield V came out, which some people call it Battlefield 5, but then some people said it was Battlefield V for Victory, but it's a World War II game. I did want to play it, but nobody bought it, and it sold so poorly that like 1 week after the release, they're giving it away for like half price and lower and stuff. And I did want to get it, but I just didn't have the money. So anyways, Battlefield 4, although it released at the end of 2013 and it's 2019 right now, 6 years later, the game is finally actually playable, and there is a lot of content. This game did have a lot to offer at first, and when I saw the previews, I thought it looked spectacular, and it just has so many weapons. It has over 100 weapons, over 100 vehicles. And some people who are bad-mouthing Battlefield said, oh, Battlefield just has these huge maps, and it just takes forever to get one side of the map to the other and everything. And then sometimes you just get slaughtered by the other team who owns all the vehicles. That just kind of depends. When there were servers with admins that didn't really pay attention to the game, sometimes the other team would just spawn camp you or whatever. Or, you know, just some stupid stuff like that. But there are smaller maps with smaller game modes, like just team deathmatch instead of conquest. There's domination instead of conquest. Oh my god, I can't even say that. And then rush is also for the bigger game modes. I would like to do my own server, because sometimes the servers are just the same game mode or the same map over and over and over, and you have to look for just the right server to find well, not a game that lasts an hour, or not the same map, or whatever. And there's some weapons that are unlocked with certain challenges, and so you have to play certain maps or certain game modes to complete those challenges. But sometimes it's hard to even find those maps or game modes at this time. You just have to kind of look around and hope to see something available. But still, Battlefield 4 is a pretty great game. It's not like Rainbow Six Siege in terms of gameplay. You know, you're not afraid to die, and you're not doing it super tactical and like aiming for the headshot perfectly every time. But it is still kind of tactical, because I remember people were comparing it Battlefield, Call of Duty. Battlefield, it was just like simplistic stuff, like tactical reloads. Like when you reloaded your magazine, there's still an extra bullet in the chamber. And then the guns actually had different fire modes between full auto, semi-auto, burst mode, and all that. They had different attachments. Meanwhile, Call of Duty, you can do like one attachment. It didn't have different fire modes, and all the guns just felt exactly the same over and over and over. So Battlefield, the people put a lot of time and effort into some of the things, but you know, like I said, at the same time, it was pretty rushed at the end of 2013, beginning of 2014 or whatever. So at this time, it's really great. Back when it first came out, it was really terrible. It's still pretty fun. It is a really quick shooter. You just die and respawn, so it's not like Rainbow Six Siege in that in that way, but it is kind of like Rainbow Six Siege in terms of tactical, different modifications for weapons, and how you have to really aim at the person. Because like in Call of Duty, you can just like aim all over and just spray and shoot and you're pretty much fine. But with Battlefield and Rainbow Six Siege, you have to aim just right, or the other player would probably kill you before you can kill them. But I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling on. Let me know what you guys think about some of this Battlefield 4 gameplay. If I should do more gameplay in the future, if I should, you know, stick with this 4K 60 FPS footage. It takes a lot of time to upload and render 4K 60 FPS gameplay, but it is really great looking. But I just want to know if you guys would like to see more Battlefield gameplay, or if you guys just want me to stick to, like, I don't know, something more popular, Rainbow Six Siege. I know I wasn't getting a lot of views with Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm probably going to be doing some more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild coming pretty soon. But yeah, guys, leave me a comment just telling me what you guys think about this sort of video, Battlefield 4 gameplay and all that stuff. And thumbs up this video, I guess. Subscribe, and see you guys later.